Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sofa. So I'm genuinely not trying to be clickbaity at all right now when I say this. I truthfully do think that if you don't understand this concept, your life is never going to change and you're always going to stay stuck, because that's how I spent most of my life living. Okay. And it wasn't up until earlier this year when I was in therapy that it finally fucking clicked. And I was like, oh my God, this is the missing puzzle piece. Like, this is something that I've been ignoring this whole time. And this is why I've been so miserable this whole time. So let's talk about your mindset. I've been in the restaurant industry for 8 years, which is 8 years too long. I'm trying to bounce, okay? Like, being in the restaurant industry, it's a very stress-inducing experience, and it's not something that I want to do forever permanently. But looking at everything that I have learned from the restaurant industry, there have been so many valuable lessons. And one of those valuable lessons is no matter what kind of stress or pressure I was under, I had to keep going. I didn't have a choice. I had to put a smile on my face. I had to be professional. I had to be nice. I had to keep my cool. I couldn't lose my shit. Even if behind the scenes shit was crashing and burning, I couldn't let it show because I'm servicing other people, okay? It's kind of like being an actress in a weird way. It's like so performative. It's like a show. Because when you're in such a chaotic industry like the restaurant industry, you really cannot have a short fuse. You really need to learn how to keep your emotions in check. You really need to know how to keep things under control, and you really need to learn how to stop taking shit personal. There have been so many people that I've met that had such a short fuse that would go from 0 to 100. These people would cry. These people would break down. These people would cuss everybody out. Like, these people would walk out. They couldn't finish their job. And one thing that I'm so grateful for is that I learned how to actually keep my emotions in check. One of the things that I wrote down regarding this topic is you don't control what happens, but you can control how you interpret it. And this is really one of those, like, glass is half full or glass is half empty, depending on how you look at it. Like, I know it's annoying as shit to hear about it. I know. But this is really true, because something can make you or break you depending on your lens. You don't control your emotions, but you can control how you interpret your emotions and what you want to do with your emotions. Because I tend to be a very emotional person, right? So there's a negative circumstance, it's a shitty circumstance, and then I feel a shitty emotion. But my problem was that I spent most of my life living in this. I would always dig myself into a deeper hole with my emotions. So let's say that there was a shitty situation, then I would feel shitty about it. That would be my emotional response to it. Like, oh, this shit sucks. And then I would just keep spiraling in this tornado of emotions, and I wouldn't actually get out. And I would spend hours being upset. I would spend days being upset about something up until I learned that this doesn't actually serve me. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. The reason why I did this, or part of the reason why I did this, okay, is because I was trying so hard to not ignore the reality, okay? Because I told myself, well, no, this is a shitty circumstance. So how the fuck else am I supposed to react to this? Like, no, I should react in a negative way. I don't want this, none of this toxic positivity bullshit. Ooh, be positive. I didn't want to do that shit, because to me, it was like, I was like ignoring what was actually going on. But the thing is, when you spiral in these negative emotions, does that really help you? Like, what does that do for you? And that is a question that I had to face with myself. I was like, okay, but okay, if I spiral, does this do anything for me? And also I learned that you don't have to ignore reality. You can accept things for how they are. Like, you could look at a circumstance and be like, yeah, this is a shitty fucking circumstance and I feel shitty about this, but what am I going to do with this? I read somewhere, and nobody quote me on this, okay, because I'm not 100% sure, but I read somewhere that your brain only processes an emotion for 90 seconds. So let's say that you start to feel upset about something, you only really feel that for 90 seconds. And then whatever comes later after those 90 seconds, that's no longer an emotion, that's actually your thoughts. So whatever direction your thoughts take you, that's exactly how you're going to feel about that emotion. One thing that I had to come to terms with is that mindset is a habit, okay? It's not a trait. It's not just who you are. It's not just like, oh, I was born like this is just how things are. Like, no, like, this is repetition. And the way that I realized this is by doing CBT therapy. If you guys don't know, I talk about this on my channel all the time, but it genuinely has helped me so much, like rewiring my brain and really looking at things from an objective point of view, okay? CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. If you guys have never heard of it, I highly recommend you look into it. But it's basically like you write down your story, you write down the event, your story, you write down how you feel about it, and then you write down all the cognitive distortions that you have. Everybody has cognitive distortions, and once you realize this, you're like, oh shit, like I could be looking at this from a very different perspective. And this, over time, through repetition, has helped me rewire my mindset. Now, you guys, this is is a bitch, okay? Because it's going to feel like you're faking it almost. Like, this is how it felt when I was doing my CBT therapy, when I was constantly journaling and writing shit down. It felt like I was like being fake with myself almost. I'm gonna be honest, it took a couple months of journaling, a couple months of me doing these CBT exercises for me to actually start to rewire my mindset. And I noticed after a few months of doing this, whenever there was a negative circumstance, I would actually stop myself in the moment in real life and be like, wait, like my automatic thought process would say this, but my new thought process, my new mindset is thinking this, okay? And this is what most people don't do. Most people don't pay attention to their automatic response. They just respond and they don't care. It's just like an automatic thing. But when you do these CBT exercises, I swear by this, you guys. I don't know. Like, I swear by the CBT. Another thing that's really important to consider in this is the victim mindset versus the creator mindset. So one thing that my therapist has always told me, and this is like, I can like literally hear him say this like all the time in my mind, but life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. What can you learn from this? Even if it's a shitty circumstance, you guys, even if it's shitty, there is something that you can take away from that. There is something that you can learn from that. And when you start to have a mindset like this, when you have a mindset of like, what is this doing for me? This is a personal power. Like, you are going to feel so much more powerful. And in a way, this is going to give you back that control that you're looking for, okay? Because really, when you're reacting to things on an emotional level, like, what you're reacting to is the lack of control that's going on. You feel like everything's out of control. But when you look at a situation and be like, what can I take away from this? What can I learn from this? This gives you power. Being really, really sad or angry about something for hours on end, for days on end, when it's like not logical, that drains you so much. And it's like, why do you want to stay in that? Your environment also feeds your mindset. So the type of music you listen to, you guys, like this is something that people don't really talk about, but this is actually really true. The music that you listen to, the movies that you watch, the friends that you have, the type of advice that you listen to, the type of people that you listen to on YouTube, whatever it may be, whatever videos are on your For You page on TikTok, whatever you like watching most of, that is going to become your ultimate belief system. That is going to become a part of your mindset. You have to be super fucking careful with what you consume. You guys, I've been in a stage of my life when I was younger, okay, where like I literally viewed everything through a dark curtain. Like, everything was depressing to me, and I would listen to sad music, I would watch really sad movies, I would be around other sad people that were on the same low vibrational level as me, and that did nothing for me. That didn't help me. It didn't help me raise my vibrational level. It didn't help me by making my life better. And this is another distortion that I had, a cognitive distortion, okay? If I worry enough about something, like, somehow it'll fix itself. Like, if I stress out about something, somehow it's going to get better. And the truth is that it never does. All stressing out ever does is, well, it ages you more. And also, you just freak out about something that you can't control. The type of thoughts you have, the type of words that you use to describe yourself, you are reinforcing your belief system by all these things. Change your input and persist in that. It feels really weird, like I said, to change your mindset. It feels so freaking weird to all of a sudden start to think in a different way, to try to rewire your mindset. When I was doing these CBT exercises, I was like, what the hell? Like, this is not how I think. This is not who I am. Like, your brain will literally try to stop you. But the point is that you need to keep going. Your old neurons need to die out, and new ones need to be created, and new patterns need to be formed in your brain physically in order for you to change your mindset. You guys, this is science. This is not some like weird woo-woo shit. Like, this is actual science. And when it finally hit me, I was like, oh shit, like, this shit is real. But you have to keep persisting in this, okay? This is the most important part of this whole thing, is that you have to keep going with this. You can't just expect yourself to wake up one day and be like, oh my god, like, everything is so great now. And no, like, shit is still gonna suck. Like, yeah, you're still gonna react negatively to things, but you're going to be less emotional. You're going to be less stressed out about things, because you're going to be more logical, okay? You're going to be more stable in your thought pattern. You choose which picture you are painting. You are literally choosing how you want your life to look like. You are choosing how you want to feel. You are choosing that. Nothing can make you feel a certain type of way. Nobody can make you feel a certain type of way. Okay, what you do with your emotions is on you. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.